Hey, how's it going? Kenny here and welcome back to another tactic testing video. And up in today's video, I'll be testing the tactic 4-2-3-1 Horsey version 2. Before we go any further though guys, I'd like to reiterate that I am not the creator of this tactic. If you're interested in checking out the creator of the tactic, then there'll be a link in the description down below. The reason it's called version 2 though, is because I made a slight tweak to the tactic. I wasn't really happy with the results I was getting, to be honest, and defensively, it was way too leaky. So the only two changes I've made is, I've changed the mentality from attacking to positive, and also one other change, I changed a deep line playmaker on defend to a ball-winning midfielder on defend. And it definitely got some better results, although I'm not saying that the version 1 tactic, the original tactic, didn't get some good results. It surely did. But overall, I just feel like this, the version I've done here worked out a little bit better with this experiment. I changed it from a deep line playmaker to a ball midfielder, as I said, and the mentality from attacking to positive. Didn't seem to make too much effect in terms of going forward, and all it did was help out the defence a bit more. So that is what I've done for this video. In terms of the other instructions, as I said, nothing else has been changed. Got a lot of instructions in possession here. You've got shorter passing, passing to space, low crosses, run at defence, work ball into box, focus play down the wings, overlap right only, and higher tempo. In transition, it's very similar to all the other tactics I've tested, to be honest. That is roll it out, distribute quickly, counter and counter press. And out of possession, we've got high defensive line, high press, trigger press much more often, and prevent short goalkeeper distribution. In terms of the player roles, we've got sweeper keeper on defend, wing back and attack on the right full back there. Hence why you got overlap right on there. On the left full back is wing back on support. Two central defenders are both ball playing defenders on defend. Then in midfield you got a ball midfielder on defend, Mazzala on support, attacking midfielder on support, inside forward on support on the right, inside forward on attack on the left hand side, and an advanced forward up front. So in terms of the actual formation, obviously it's not something that we haven't seen before. A 4-2-3-1 is a pretty standard formation, so we'll see how it does. It's still a very attacking tactic, despite taking the mentality from attacking to positive. So we shall see how it gets on. Man City are the team I've set up here, but it doesn't necessarily mean they'll feature in the video today. Because if you're new to my tactic testing videos, then I should tell you that I test this tactic out with every single Premier League club to see the variety of results there. And in today's video, I have featured the teams I think had the 3 biggest success with the tactic, and also to see the other side of the spectrum to show the team who I think had the least success with the tactic. So what I've done is I've gone on holiday for the season with every team. I've selected used current match tactics, and I've also made myself unsackable for the sake of the experiment. So without further ado then, let's get started. Let's see who the team is who's had the 3rd most success with the tactic. And that team is Fulham. They've had a great season. They finished as high as 7th in the league. I know that's not too far away from where they finished in real life. I think they finished 10th in real life, or 9th, maybe I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure they got a top half finish though. So only 3 places or 2 places above where they finished in real life. But do remember that at the start of this FM, Fulham are one of the favourites to get relegated. And in real life as well, there was everyone's pick to get relegated, to be honest. And they've done really well in real life, even better on this FM, finishing as high as 7th in the league and qualifying for next season's Europa Conference League. But that doesn't tell the whole story, because Fulham were going really, really well. As you can see here, they were 2nd in the league for a long, long time. And then they were 3rd in the league. And it looks like towards the end of the season, they fell off, unfortunately. They still managed to clinch a 7th place finish in the end. But we could be talking about a sensational season for Fulham here. We could be talking about a top 4 finish. So unfortunately, they finished 7th in the league. But Fulham, a team predicted to finish, get relegated. A great season in my opinion. The FA Cup, they got knocked down in 5th round by Bournemouth. Also did really well in the Carabao Cup as well. They got to the semi-final, where unfortunately got knocked out by Man United. Let's check out the league table in full then. Well, Alexander Mitrovic, obviously recently gone to Saudi Arabia. He scored 24 goals in this season, 3rd top goal scorer in the league, so that's great from him. Joao Palhinha as well with 17 yellow cards. That's quite a lot of yellow cards, isn't it? Well, they won 17 games in the season, drew 9 and lost 12. They scored 68 goals, which is nice, and conceded 54, plus 14 goal difference and 60 points. I don't see how you can do much better than this for Fulham, to be honest. I know he doesn't look outstanding, their stats here, but as I said, do remember it is Fulham. I can't see Fulham winning the league of 85, 90 points, no matter what the tactic is. So I'm sure there's tactics out there that's got above 60 points for Fulham, but all in all, you can't get much better than this in my opinion. So a brilliant season from Fulham. In terms of their best player of the season, who was that? Probably Mitrovic. No, it wasn't. It was Andreas Pereira. He got 16 goals and 9 assists with a 7.26 average rating. Also, Mitrovic got 26 goals in 38 games. That is rather nice. And 5 assists. Anthony Robertson did great at left back as well. But only 3 players with a green rating here. So it seems like Pereira and Mitrovic were the outstanding performers, to be honest. And Robinson, let's be honest. 8 assists from him from left back. But lots of good performances here. Sasa Lukic had a decent average rating. Same with Paulinho, Tim Ream as well, Harrison Reed. So it looked like it was just a good season all around for Fulham. Let's have a look at the data hub before we leave as well. Doesn't look outstanding, as I say, but this is Fulham, so goals per game is very good. Non-penalty XG by 90 is very good as well. Conceded per game is pretty much just average, so that's nice as well. XG against per game is a little bit below an average, but other than that, brilliant season. Anyway, let's go check out the team who's had the second most success with this tactic. And that team is Liverpool. Before we get started with their results though, guys, please remember that if you do like this video, to please hit that like button for me. It's very important for the video success. And also, if you're new around here and you want to see more from me, do hit that subscribe button as well. It also really helped me out as well. So, Liverpool, not so great in the Premier League, it has to be said. Finished 3rd in the league. Obviously, better than what they did in real life. 78 points though. It's not the best of results for them. But the reason they're 2nd in the list, because with the tactic, they managed to win the Champions League and the FA Cup as well. So they ended off the season with a double, despite only finishing 3rd in the league. They beat Bayer Leverkusen 4-0 in the final, by the way. What are Bayer Leverkusen doing in the Champions League final? No one knows. But hopefully they beat someone meaningful on their way to the final. We'll check that out in a second. They also won the FA Cup. We'll see they beat them in the final as well. Went far in the Carabao Cup as well. Knocked down the semi-final by Chelsea. And they finished as runner-up in the Community Shield. So let's see who they actually beat in the FA Cup final then, first of all. Oh my word, wow. They got a bit of luck in the finals, didn't they? They beat Nottingham Forest in the final, 3-1 in the FA Cup. And they beat Bayer Leverkusen 4-0 in the Champions League final, of course. They got through Napoli in the semi-final of the Champions League, though. They also got through Real Madrid in the quarter-final and Ajax in the round of 16. So I think it justifies their Champions League win, even though they were strong favourites for the final there. In the FA Cup, they had quite a favourable draw, it has to be said. But they did get through Newcastle in the quarter-final on penalties. So that was a rather nice win. So let's look at the league table in full here. Well, in terms of the player stats, not a single Liverpool player to be seen in any of the departments here. That's quite interesting. Well, 25 wins is obviously decent. 3 draws, though, and 10 defeats. 10 defeats is just way too many. As you can see there as well, away from home. 9 of those defeats came away from home. 1 defeat at home as well. 3-0 at home to Aston Villa. 80 goals scored, decent. 39 goals conceded as well. Not too bad. But obviously, they're in the list here today because they did really well in the competitions, winning the Champions League and winning the FA Cup as well. So that is very nice. Let's check out the squad then. Who was the best player of the season? Well, Mo Salah got 25 goals in 50 games, so 1 in 2. Not too shabby. And 13 assists as well. Darwin Nunez always does well in this FM for me. 33 goals and 8 assists for him. Luis Diaz with 18 goals and 12 assists. Even Cody Gakpo got 25 assists as well, just 34 starts and 8 assists. Firmino with 7 goals and 10 assists. Just some very good performances here for Liverpool, has to be said. Lots of green ratings. Could have done a lot better in the Premier League, has to be said. 78 points is not good enough, but they did secure a top 4 finish. They won the Champions League as well, and they won the FA Cup. In my opinion, that's going to go down as a successful season. Let's check out the data hub before we leave as well. Yeah, the data hub is looking very good as well. Just conceded per game. Maybe another tweak can be made to the tactic, to be honest. I did consider the idea of moving the 2 centre midfielders back to 2 DMs. Maybe going with a Segundo Volante in there with the ball midfielder, but didn't try it out, so that is something that can be changed to the tactic in my opinion. It's obviously not a perfect tactic, but it's still a good tactic, and most of the results have been quite decent. Anyway, before we get started with the team who's had the best success with the tactic, let's go check out the other side of the spectrum, and let's check out the team who have failed miserably with this tactic. And that team is Brighton. They've had a shocking season, finishing down in 16th place. Although this is not as shocking as what it would seem in real life now. Obviously, Brighton were amazing last season, finishing 6th in the league in the end, qualifying for the Europa League. They were brilliant, and they've got a fantastic team. But at the start of FM23, they're still not that highly rated, to be honest. Finished 11th or 12th, as you can see there. Ball expectations mid-table, so it's not as disastrous as it first seems, but not good enough, has to be said, with the players they've got. Only 9 wins in the season is rather disappointing. To be honest, Brighton never do very well in the tactic tests I do, to be honest. As I said, they're just not very rated by FM. Hopefully, in FM24, they'll be a whole lot better. Did do quite well in the FA Cup, though. Knocked down the semi-final by Liverpool. Obviously, knocked down the semi-final in the FA Cup by Man United in real life. And knocked down the 3rd round of the Carabao Cup by Reading. Yeah, in terms of their league table by fall, only 9 wins for the season. It's just poor. 13 draws and 16 defeats. Way too many defeats. and not enough wins. It's just, yeah, it's cliche really, isn't it? 53 goals scored, not good enough, and 78 goals conceded. That is the worst defence in the league, and only reached 40 points, so rather disappointing, it has to be said. In terms of the teams in whole, though, most of the teams did at least met their expectations, to be honest. There wasn't too many outstanding performers, apart from the team you'll see in the team who finished first, in my opinion, in terms of successful with the tactic. But other than that, no one did exceptionally, but no one did really that terribly either, to be honest. Only Brighton down in 16th place. Only one team got relegated as well, and that was Nottingham Forest finishing 19th in the league. So, without further ado, let's get started with the team who's had the most success with the tactic. And that team is West Ham. They've had a brilliant season. They've qualified for the Champions League football for next season, finishing in 4th in the league. And although they didn't repeat their feat in real life of winning the Europa Conference League, knocked down around the 16 by FC20, they did finish the season with silverware, though, because they won the Carabao Cup. So, wow, what a season for West Ham this is. 4th in the league, playing Champions League football next season, and winning a trophy. Amazing. Absolutely, mate. Of course, they won the European trophy in real life, but they also finished about 13th or 14th in the league. So, qualifying for the Champions League and winning the League Cup, sensational. Yeah, Europa Conference League is disappointing, it has to be said. You expect better from them in the Conference League. FA Cup as well, knocked down the 3rd round by Brighton. Also, a bit dissimilar to Fulham. Fulham had a great, at least first half of the season, probably first 2/3 of the season, looking to be absolutely incredible, 2nd in the league. West Ham didn't start off too great, but they ended the season incredibly, and they rose all the way up to 4th in the league and pipped Chelsea on goal difference to qualify for next season's Champions League. So that was absolutely brilliant from them. Wow, what on earth is going on there? I have no idea what's going on there. I've never seen such a ridiculous thing in all my life. Dominic Solanke, top goal scorer in the Premier League with 24 goals. What on earth is going on? I'm not saying he's a bad player. I think he's a good player, and he certainly can get double digits, but 24 league goals for Bournemouth for Solanke. Top goal scorer in the league. Erling Haaland 3rd with 21 goals. Just doesn't seem right to me. Skamaka, though, he finished 2nd in the list with 22 goals. That is nice. And Jared Bowen with 14 assists as well. That is great. So 19 wins for West Ham, 10 draws and just 9 defeats. 71 goals scored is very nice. And only 47 goals conceded with a plus 24 goal difference. So, yeah, as I said, fantastic season from them. Who did they actually beat in the League Cup final? They actually beat Arsenal in the League Cup final. They beat them 1-0. Lucas Paquetá with a goal there. They got through Leicester in the semi-final as well. So, really good performance for them in the Carabao Cup. The Europa Conference League, really disappointing though. Knocked out on penalties by FC20. So, who knows what could happen there? Well, they could have won the Conference League. They should have won the Conference League, let's be honest. But all in all, what a fantastic season. 4th in the league and a Carabao Cup trophy. Can't get much better than that for West Ham, can it? In terms of the best player of the season, well, no surprises, Skamaka did it. 33 goals for him in 48 games. That's brilliant. Kurt Zouma as well. 8 goals from him in 47 appearances. Syed Benrahma got 12 goals and 14 assists in just 34 starts. Jared Bowen with 11 goals as well and 19 assists. Paquetá, 6 goals, 5 assists. Fornals, 8 goals and 5 assists. And Lanzini chipped in with 7 goals and 8 assists as well. So, going forward, West Ham looking very, very good. We have a quick look at the data hub here as well. As you can see here, pretty good. The only thing that's below average is the XG against per game. Similar to Fulham, really. The actual graph here is very, very similar to Fulham. So, as I said, could be more tweaks in the tactic made. I'm not saying it's a bad tactic, but not the best results I've seen. Obviously, I made two slight tweaks to the tactic, but could move the 2 centre midfielders back to DM. Maybe that will improve the defence even more. Who knows? But anyway, guys, that is the end of the video. Please remember that if you do like the video, hit that like button for me. As I said, it's very important for the video's success. And also, if you're new around here, do hit that subscribe button as well. It'd really help me out, and it's much appreciated. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.